Welcome to the Side Character Era podcast. Join us for the weekly update and analysis of the chosen musical topic of the week. Don't forget to message us with any questions, queries, or challenges. Now, please welcome your hosts, Alicia, Lauren, and Naomi, as they bring you the Side Character Era.
Hey guys, welcome back to Side Character Era podcast. We are back. It is November. We are ready for another musical to dive into. And of course today we are diving into Wicked. Woohoo! No reaction there, eh?
I did. I said, "Yay!" I'm really excited to dive into this one.
So, for anyone who doesn't know Wicked, the Broadway musical that premiered in 2003 was based on Gregory Maguire's novel. It started obviously with Kristen Chenoweth, Idina Menzel, and Norbert Leo Butz as the main cast, which is super exciting. Obviously, everyone knows Kristen Chenoweth and Idina Menzel. It's a prequel to The Wizard of Oz, telling the story of Elphaba, the misunderstood Green Witch who eventually becomes Wicked. It's about friendship, identity, and challenging what Wicked means, plus absolute belters of songs. I mean, who out of us literally has not screamed their way through Defying Gravity at some point, or many points?
Maybe yelled.
Yeah. There's obviously a reason that it is one of the longest running shows. I mean, we're on 22, coming up 23 years now.
Wow.
On Broadway and West End, where it opened up in 2006. And it's had so many world tours as well. It's the magic, the humour. I mean, we all love it, don't we? It's super exciting. But yeah, today we're going to focus on part 1 / the first act, because we're then going to discuss what we're looking forward to in part 2 when it gets released later this month. But yeah, shall we dive into the actual musical?
Let's rock and roll.
Do you remember when you first saw it? Because I think this is an actual musical that we have all three seen on stage.
I first saw it with my mum and her best friend. I was so excited when it was coming out first anyway, because I love the theatre show, I really do, but I was so excited to see how they put it into movie, because there's so much more you can see. There just visually is, and I was so, and it surpassed my expectations. I even went back to the cinema and saw it again with Lauren, and I don't go back to the cinema twice because I ain't a cinema galley, really. And I loved it. So yeah, I just love it. I love it.
What about you, Alicia?
Well, for me, obviously, Wicked has been, it was my first West End musical that I saw, like, in the West End. I saw it when I was 16, I think, and I went to see it with one of my school friends, and I remember just being so blown away, and I cried during I'm Not That Girl, because at the time, I was just like... This was really cheesy, but I just remember like feeling like at those times like I felt inadequate, like, you know, even just around like guys and stuff, and I was like, I'm not that girl, and all the guys always like the beautiful blonde girls, and I'm not and I'm not that. So I just remember just sobbing at the song. I absolutely adored that song. And since then I have seen it, I think, a further 3 or 4 times in the touring production, and then I saw it a couple more times, probably like 3 times, because then I saw it a couple more times in the West End whenever I was visiting back from when I was living in China, and I would go to London. I'd always be like, oh, what show should I watch? And I just kept being like, well, I know I love Wicked, so I just would watch that one again. So I've seen it numerous times in the West End. So yeah, and then obviously then I saw the movie when it came out, and yeah. Obviously, it's a little bit different, but it was good. It was good.
I first saw it with my ex-boyfriend in London. He wasn't into musicals. I was. And I was blown away. I absolutely loved it so much. But he really enjoyed it as well. And then I saw it again a few years later with Will, my current partner. So that was like in 2017. So still quite a while ago. Again, he's not a fan of musicals, but he loved it so much that he bought the soundtrack from the merch.
Oh, that's cute.
Like,
wow. That's cool.
Yeah, both times, absolutely.
I mean, the soundtrack is impressive.
Yeah.
And do you know?
Carry on.
Oh, sorry, carry on. No, you carry
I'll say,
on.
obviously, the movie I was so excited for. I went to watch it on my own the day it came out. And then I watched it a further 3 times. As Naomi said, I watched it with her once. I watched it with my little sister. And then I also went with my niece for her birthday too.
Didn't I sit with you as well? Was I here?
No.
Oh, I wasn't even here. Why do I? Oh, you know what I was thinking when we went to go watch Barbie together.
Similar.
They're a bit different.
Close.
Yeah.
Green and pink. I mean,
So
what I love while we're on the topic of that, and you were going on about the soundtrack, what to me is, and I really like looking into, was like how Wicked became Wicked. Like, why did they come up with the story to do the pre-essence of the whole thing? Because the soundtrack, because I know it came from Wizard of Oz, and then a man called Greg Maguire, he wrote a book that then Steven Schwartz wanted to like humanize the villain, and he got the rights to do it and made the whole story. But the fact that this whole story came from the Wizard of Oz and surpasses Wizard of Oz by like a massive mile, it's so much better than the Wizard of Oz, but we wouldn't have got it without it. But I just think that's like, so it's no, but if you think about it and deep it, it's like, how did they come up with that from that story? Do you know what I mean?
I mean, it's technically like, it's kind of like a fan fiction that's become massive. I still love, obviously, Wizard of Oz. I think that movie is iconic in itself.
Yeah.
Like the way they even used, because that's the first time they used the Technicolor, like going from the black and white into the Technicolor. I still think that's absolutely incredible movie. But yeah, I don't see them as being like, I know they are obviously linked, but I don't like, when I watch Wizard of Oz, like I think of the Wicked Witch of the West, like she is like the evil character, you know. I don't see her as the wicked, like Wizard of Oz, Wicked Witch of the West.
I'm looking forward to them intertwining the Wizard of Oz in their own way in part 2, and I think we'll see a lot more of that.
Me
so
too.
It will resonate in a different way. That's what I'm actually looking forward to the most in part 2, which I know we're getting into.
Anything else on that note?
No, engine's dry now.
So what are your favourite cast versions? Because obviously it's been running for so long. There's been so many different casts.
I know, I struggle to remember the different casts. I just remember like being like, oh, that was amazing, or that was maybe less amazing, you know, like so I don't know, like, I mean, the last time I saw it, I thought like the guy who played Fiyero, and I'm following him on Instagram, but I've totally forgotten his name now. But like, I remember he did such an amazing job, but then I remember feeling a bit like let down by the Elphaba, maybe because I've seen it so many times. She just came across as like very, very powerful voice, amazing voice, but just like the acting side of it didn't really come across like so well. But then I don't know, once you've seen it like that many times, like you kind of do start to be like, well, actually that one was, you know, you can start comparing like different performances. But I am rubbish with names, and I feel really bad about that, because I'm like, I remember like after I've seen the show, I'll be like, that person's amazing, blah blah blah, and then like I might write down the name, might start following them on Instagram, but then like I can't, you know, they're not staying in my head.
I was quite lucky when I went to see it the first time. It was, I can never say her name, Wilhelmine Verkijk, who played Elphaba, and she's like quite an iconic West End Elphaba. And then the second time it was Alice Fern, who, her voice is just insane, and she was incredible. Again, she's like one of the most iconic people to play Elphaba on West End. What I do wish that we could have here, though, was have gotten to see Aaron Tveit play Fiyero, like on stage, because I think he was probably incredible.
Who?
Aaron Tveit.
Aaron Tveit.
Yeah, he was in Les Mis.
Oh,
Come on, Alicia.
Yeah. I thought you said Aaron Tveit, and I was like, who's Aaron Tveit? Tveit, yeah. No, he was who was he? The friend in the main kind of Do you hear the people sing? That guy,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah. So I would love to see him as Fiyero. Like, that would be insane. And it was like only on Broadway in 2008 or something like that when he was. So
No, I was just gonna say, like, I just looked up the guy who played Fiero the last time I saw it was a guy called Ryan Reed, and it was really cool. Like, I think he was the first black actor I've seen playing
oh,
Fiero,
cool.
and his dancing skills. Oh my gosh! Like, every time he was dancing on stage, I was like, this guy is so amazing at dancing. Honestly, like, he was so good. I'm not sure if he's still there, but I know he was there for 3 years. I think he was there.
Yeah.
I know it, maybe 4.
Yeah, no.
I know he was there because once they kind of get into like a role, I think sometimes he was there for quite a while. I think he was there from like 2021, I think 2022 maybe, I'm not sure, but I saw it probably that year. But yeah, he was amazing. So yeah, I follow him on Instagram, but awesome performance, honestly.
That's cool.
I was just like, the way he danced, I was like, whoa, this guy. Like, clap, clap, clap. Do we have any favourite songs?
Yes, we do.
All right, Bob the Builder.
I'll go first. Pick me.
Okay.
So I've got 2 that I'm going to mention specifically. The first one is No One Mourns the Wicked. Orchestrally, I love it. I love that that's the opening. I love the opening scene in the movie with that song. And do you know what? I recognised recently the beginning of No One Mourns the Wicked. I was like, that sounds so familiar. Why does it? Do you know why? It's very reminiscent of the prologue to Les Mis. The very first part of the song. I love the song. I love the journey. I love that it's like a story within a story because it's set in the scene. We're seeing the politics kind of play out for Les Mis and Glinda, and it's like after the fact that the witch got killed. And I just love the dynamics of the song, that it's not just very baseline. It takes you on lots of different layers through musical dynamics, and it just makes me feel things that I probably shouldn't feel. And I love the choral work in it and the harmonies in it as well.
Yeah.
It's such a good song, and I love it so much. Can you tell? The second one I love, which obviously I go on about all the time, The Wizard and I love that song so much, right? I cannot explain how much this song, beautiful. And what I love about it the most is the irony in the song, because it's got lots of foreshadowing in it, with lyrics like I'm so happy I could melt, celebration throughout Oz, that's all to do with me. What's that other bit? Everyone will scream my name. And it's the irony is that does eventually happen, but not in the way that she suspects it to. It's like in a negative light. It's not in the light of her optimism, dreaming like that's what I want my life to be. And again, the modulations and dynamics in that, and how it takes you on a journey. It's not just baseline. It makes me I like songs that make me physically feel the emotion, and them 2 songs, they just do it for me, and they're my favourite too. So anyone else?
Yeah, no, I absolutely love The Wizard and I for literally the same reason. Like, I just love the foreshadowing, as you said, and how it is twisted for what actually happens. And yeah, No One Mourns the Wicked is just stunning in every possible way. My favourite song's probably, I love Dancing Through Life. It's just so layered, and on like a shallow level it is more, we all care too much, we should just be happy and float through. Obviously on a deeper level it is a lot more than that, but it just makes you feel like, things are fine, like it'll be okay. And then probably my other favourite one from part 1 is One Short Day. I just love that song, and I'm not gonna lie, that song is a huge stim for me. Like, I will constantly go around singing One Short Day like all the time. It's just such like a wonderful song. I think it's great.
Yeah, I do like One Short Day as well. I forget that song's in there, but I do love it. I love it. Alicia?
Yeah, I mean, obviously the opening of, I just remember like the first time watching Wicked on stage, and they came out with No One Mourns the Wicked. You just kind of sat there like, whoa.
Yeah, because it's so
this
in your
is
face,
where it's
isn't it,
going,
with
you know. You're just like
straight away.
Yeah, and you're like, this is what we're here. This is what's happening. So that one, like, I just think is amazing. And then, yeah, obviously I love I'm Not That Girl. I already spoke about that one. Just that, yeah, I just love it. And also the Kerry Ellis rock version of that, I love. She did. I don't know if you guys know. She did like a couple of songs. She did that one. Did she do Defying Gravity? I think so. And she did it with Brian May.
Oh,
And
cool.
so she has like a kind of like Wicked in rock, and it's really
Yeah.
cool. So I love that one. And then I don't know, I also have one from the second half, so I'll leave that for for our next one. But I also do love I don't know, I didn't like it like at the time, but it's like grown on me, is Popular. Because it's just so like popular. Wanna be popular. It's just the way that just kind of, you know, like it makes you feel peppy, like
Yeah. It's like, what is this feeling as well? I love, like, I could easily say that I love all of them.
Oh, I
And
love
to be
that one.
honest, the first song that introduced me to Wicked was actually What Is This Feeling? And it was actually Naomi singing it on stage.
Oh, was that with Leanne?
Yeah, like, I was
Yeah.
like, oh, I really like this. What's it from? And obviously I didn't know much
Oh.
about musicals before I joined you guys for
You're welcome.
that group for that. So yeah, you probably are actually the one that introduced me to Wicked by singing What Is This
Wow.
Feeling?
I feel honoured. You're welcome.
No, and I love that song. Sorry, I love that song just because it's so like, you just don't expect it. You're like, what is this feeling? And you think like, oh, what is this feeling? And they're like, loathing. Like, it's just so, like, the music's so cool.
Yeah, I was saying earlier on, actually, I think to Lauren, because I was going to mention that in my top 3, but I decided not to because I had a lot to say about the other 2 that I like more. Was that with Loathing is that you actually feel the emotion with that as well, and the anger, and how you can imagine how the score was like printed out for them to emulate the loathing and the hate. Like,
Yeah, it's short and
within
sharp.
the music
They're not
itself.
holding on
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
hateful notes, are they? Sorry, I can't
I think
speak
that's what
today.
That's what this musical does. I know all musicals do that within emotion within song, but this musical in particular really lets you emulate the feelings and the emotions with the songs itself, with like all of the songs, and I really appreciate that about Wicked.
Cut that again. snip,
Oh,
snip, snip.
I will do what I want, Alicia.
So obviously, like, we've all got like a experience of having seen it in the West End, and we've got our own kind of takes on the casting and stuff like that. When it came to then the movie, how did we feel about like our initial thoughts on people who were cast and stuff?
I didn't know much about Cynthia Erivo before her announcement, to be honest. But so I was like, oh, I don't know. So I looked her up, and I was like, oh my god, this woman's voice is incredible. Like, she's gonna smash it. And yeah, she did. I think she was amazing. And then obviously everyone was dubious about Ariana originally, but I really wanted to like believe in John M. Chu's like vision for the film, because I feel like he probably knew how much pressure he had on his shoulders to get it right for this, and she's perfect. She is incredible.
Yeah.
And then Jonathan Bailey as Fiyero is just great. He's amazing.
I agree. I couldn't imagine, and if you're going to bring up this question later of who else would you cast, genuinely with Ariana Grande, like, I wouldn't want to cast it as anyone else, because I couldn't imagine anyone else. And how she plays the role so differently in certain ways from the actual theatre show, but like, I couldn't imagine Glinda even being played in a different way. Like, she does it phenomenally. Like, it's, yeah, I love her doing it so much.
Yeah. So I mean, like, so when they first kind of announced the cast listing, honestly, I didn't really know much about like Lauren, I didn't really know much about Cynthia Erivo. Like, I don't know, it just never really came up, like, in terms of like what's your opinion on this. Like, I just was like, oh, okay, like, I don't know, like, I didn't really have one, you know. I was just like, I hope she'll do a good job, you know.
Yeah.
I didn't really know even about Jonathan Bailey's casting until, like, I think as we went to go see it. I was like, oh, it's him, is it? But then, I don't know, obviously there was a big, like, online stuff. I saw so much stuff about Ariana and her, and like, to be honest, like, I was also a bit skeptical because I obviously pop star Ariana, and pop stars Ariana's voice, you wouldn't necessarily like think like, oh, Glinda, you know what I mean? Like, because she has like almost two different ways of singing, So I was just a bit like, okay. And for me, like, I had really liked the idea of having Dove Cameron, and for me, like, she just
Sorry, it's just because it's ongoing over at Dove Cameron.
I had always kind of envisioned, like, I thought that Dove Cameron would do an amazing job, and like visually I was like, oh, she's just she to me was like visually also like Glinda as well. And obviously I saw some clips of her singing in as Clara in the Light in the Piazza in 2019. She did like a couple of months in the Light in the Piazza musical, and her voice was just like so like beautiful and operatic and stuff like that. I was like, wow, like she can really do this. So I personally was kind of like thinking like, oh wow, Dove Cameron would be great for the role, and I wasn't buying into that the kind of like Ariana stuff. And then honestly, when I watched the movie, I was like, wow, like she smashed it. Like, let's be honest, like like Ariana did such a good job as Glinda, and she did it in such a comedic way.
And she did it straight away as well, didn't she? Literally from those first notes of Let Us Be Glad, like you were hooked in as she is Glinda.
See, for me, I know that people had their doubts about Ariana Grande. I personally myself am a fan of Ariana Grande.
Yeah,
I like her
Ariana.
music. I wasn't like thinking, oh, I don't know about that, because she's actually, wasn't she originally musically theatre trained? Like, that's her background.
Yeah, she started.
That's actually
stage,
where she comes from. Yeah, so I didn't.
But I think you forget about that though. Like people, because she's such a global pop star. You can often forget that that's how she started.
Also thinking about the fact she's from Nickelodeon as well, and people know her as Kat from what was it, Victorious? Is that the thing?
Yeah.
And I think they just see her as that. But like, I thought she'd be able to do it anyway, because just like when she's on talk shows and that, and they've played games where she has to imitate, like she can do other people.
She always does those
so terrifyingly that I was like, oh, I don't know if she's just in it for the hype, but I'm sure she'll do a good job, which is why I was like, yeah, I really want to trust in the vision that she's here. And yeah, it worked out incredibly. Like,
yeah, it absolutely did. In fact, I've got a question quickly while we're on the topic, just so that we don't dwindle off it. Do you think you would have liked Wicked as much? I know we wouldn't know, because we wouldn't know what it'd be like if someone else was casted it, but do you think you would like it as much if she hadn't played Glinda? Do you think it would have been a different vibe completely? Because I think it would have.
Like, for me, I think, obviously we don't know what, like, it would have obviously been different.
Yeah.
But I think we would have loved it anyway, I think, because it is Wicked. It's almost one of those musicals that doesn't really, obviously it doesn't, you want to say it does matter who's cast, but like, if anyone does like a good job, it's still going to be an amazing musical because it is Wicked, like, but I can't really imagine anyone doing it now apart from Ariana, like, there's like the way that she's done it. But yeah, I still would have loved it, I'm sure, because it is Wicked.
I think I would have loved it, but I don't think I would have loved it in the same way that I do.
No, but I think that's where like Alicia's coming from with the whole, as long as they do it well, you're gonna love it no matter what. Obviously, we wouldn't know that Ariana was actually Glinda and just the embodiment of the character, full stop, and we would think whoever may have been cast and said, Dove Cameron.
Used to like, Naomi, stop coming up with questions that don't make sense.
They do make sense.
We don't know. We don't know. Hypothetically.
I am glad though that Amanda Seyfried didn't get it, to be honest.
Was she in the running for it? I was meant to look that up before we came into the pod.
Yeah,
but she was in the running for it.
I like her, and I like her voice, but
yeah,
she's just not Glinda for me.
And for me, she's older, more mature, and she looks too older to be, in my opinion. Obviously, this is my opinion. I think that would have. that would have ruined the kind of vision of
Yeah.
the whole school vibe for me, because she does look too much
Yeah.
older in my opinion. My opinion.
Yeah. I mean, like, obviously they are meant to be, like, if they're going to, like, say, like, university, then they're technically, obviously you have older learners, but technically meant to be that kind of, like, 18, 19, 20 kind of age. Like, so it's just kind of, obviously, the cast they did cast are already much older, because I'm not sure
Yeah.
how old Cynthia is,
She's
but
late
she is
30s.
in her mid-30s, late
And
30s.
obviously you can get older and more mature. You can get more mature students. You just can. Like, I just finished an apprenticeship like 2 years ago. But the point is, the point I was making was that if they do look more mature, the thing is, some of the storylines and the plots, like Glinda being naive to the fact that popularity is not based on peppiness, what you look like, there's more to navigate. You wouldn't get that kind of storyline from someone that looked older, because you wouldn't believe that they would have that kind of mentality mindset necessarily.
Yeah. No, I think that the cast they do have, we were able to believe them to be younger than they obviously are.
So was there anything you actually didn't like about the movie?
That it ended and we had to wait for part 2. So wasn't
At least it's
fun.
only a year though. Like, most things make you wait a lot longer.
Yeah. Do you know what? Honestly, hands on heart, the only bit I don't like, actually, that I can pick out top of my head, I love The Wizard and I really love that song with all my
I
heart.
never knew that. I would
don't
never
like...
guess at all.
No, I don't like Madame Morrible's bit at the beginning of that song. That's the only thing that the whole show, that's the only thing I'm not a massive fan of. I don't like it. But that's the only thing I can point out that I'm a bit like, oh, but that's it. I love the rest of it. There's nothing I'm like, oh, what's that? I love it all.
Yeah, I think compared to, like, on stage, like, the Madame Morrible, she is more vocally inclined, whereas Michelle Yeoh isn't really. But I think she's great casting for it, though.
No, I wasn't when I said that, I wasn't on about her vocal voice.
No,
I
I
just
know.
don't like the actual song bit
Yeah.
itself. I just want to preface that for anyone. That it was the song bit
Yeah.
itself, not her. She's great.
But
She's
yeah,
fantastic.
she plays the part so well. Like, she's terrifying in such a chilled way, and I think that is, like, the scariest thing.
And you know she's done her character well as well. It's because you watch it and you kind of already, if you don't know the story, you can kind of tell there's something off about her. But you also just actually generally just don't like her character. And that's how you know she's done a good job, because I'm actually like, that's how you know she's did it good.
Yeah, the way that she speaks to Glinda, just kind of like, huh.
Yeah, like, really dismissive.
But like, even talking about that though, like, is there anything, like, would you have any cast changes, or anyone that you wish could have got it? Like,
No, because even, like, with the extra characters that they've added in, like, what's her name? The head shistress. Obviously on stage it's normally Madame Morrible, isn't it? But they've added that character in, and I really liked her. Like, I was like, yeah, this is a great addition. Like, I don't really know why, but I just was like, yeah, we needed this character.
I feel like there was someone the other day that I personally wouldn't change the cast. I would always keep it as it is. I wouldn't, for the sake of this. There was someone the other day though that I've thought about, because I knew this question was coming up, and I hate this question so much because I never have an answer. And if I do, it's always an irrelevant person that I bring up that's like not in any form of musical theatre industry. But I did have an answer for Elphaba, but this is irrelevant because I can't remember who it was, but I did have someone. I did. I feel like it might have been like Demi Lovato.
Is this Perry Edwards all over again?
I'm like, wait, what?
I like Debbie, but
No, but I don't know. I don't think that was who it was, but it was someone on that line. Like, I don't know. It's so annoying because I actually can't remember, but I did have someone the other day.
But Demi's, yeah, because I was like, Demi's not done musical theatre, like,
Alicia.
stage shows. Has she?
Alicia,
not in recent years.
when have any of my answers involved someone that's done musical theatre? They just don't, and that's what you're gonna get every week. So I'm sorry, but that's just who I'm gonna be.
So shall I jump in while you're thinking?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Go ahead. I think I'm done there.
So for me, like, obviously we have sort of talked a little bit about Michelle Yeoh, and I think, like, obviously she is an incredible actress, but obviously she was hesitant about taking the part because she's not a singer.
Oh.
And so, like, if you, like, vocally, because everyone else is such a high standard, it does kind of, like, although she's only singing for like a little bit, like, you can kind of like see it, like, you know what I mean? But obviously, like, because John Chu, the director, had worked with her in Crazy Rich Asians, where obviously she was amazing in that as well, he really wanted to work with her again, so he, like, convinced her to take the part. But for me, like, if I was to choose someone else, someone who I really think would have been also amazing at it was Imelda Staunton.
Yeah.
Because, like, Imelda Staunton, she is a West End actress. She has the pipes. If you heard her singing, she has an incredibly powerful voice at singing as well.
She is.
But I think that, like, my personal opinion is that she's a little bit typecast now, because she did such an amazing job in Harry Potter as, like, the...
That would be my concern. I would
sweet
only
pink...
see her as Umbridge, like, full stop.
Yeah. And so it's like, so obviously as, you know, as Madame Morrible, you want to be kind of like, if people haven't seen the musical, there is that kind of like, she's meant to kind of be seen as the good person. In terms of, like, oh, like, I'm helping you get to the wizard, I'm helping you achieve your dreams, blah, blah, blah. So you don't want to, like, see her as bad. But I feel like if Imelda Staunton had been cast, because there's such that kind of typecasting from when she did such an amazing job as Umbridge, that then people would be like, oh my gosh, it's Umbridge, she's definitely evil.
I mean, she has been in loads of stuff where she's played good characters.
I know, but I feel like on a wide scale, like, on a massively wide scale, like, people mostly see her as Umbridge. And so, like, if, especially as this is then like another magic school, like, do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
just be like,
I'll be interested to see how they do Thank Goodness, because obviously her singing is a huge part of that song, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, maybe, I don't know, like, they might, like, have someone else sing it, like, as give it to another character, or maybe, like, you know, you don't know how people are practicing and vocally, like, obviously the vocal cords, like, it's a muscle, like, you just got to practice singing it, and so maybe by the time, I don't know, do they film it all at the same time?
Filmed it all in one. Yeah, I think whatever they do, she will smash it. Like, I'm not saying she'll do a bad job. I'm just curious as to how they will do it, based on that.
Yeah. But obviously, like, as an actress, she is phenomenal, you know. But yeah, if I would have loved to have seen what Imelda could have done with the role.
Yeah, she would be good, to be fair. So do you prefer the stage version or the movie?
Naomi, I nearly said my surname, not going to quite go there yet. I love the movie more than the theatre show. Like I already said earlier on, I was so excited to see how they did it visually. I feel like we're in Oz and we get to see everything, and how I love the movie more. I just love what it does. I love it, and I love that it's there and we can just watch it whenever we want, and I just think What about you two?
Wow.
Alicia's like, what
well, for me,
the heck are you on about? I've seen that show 5 million times. Like... I know it's better in the theatre.
Should we let her answer?
For me, when I just think there's something so much more magical when you're watching it in the theatre, and you got the live vocals, like, coming through so strong, and, like, it's just, I don't know, I personally think it's more magical being in the theatre watching it. If they were to have released a movie of them, like a theatre version, like they'd had with Hamilton, like with Frozen, etc., I would 100% prefer to watch that version. Not taken away from the movie, because I think the movie is absolutely amazing, but personally I love the theatre version a lot. And especially, like, just like visually, like in Defying Gravity, in the musical, like in the theatre version, like, she gets winched up, like, wearing those kind of, like, she's just dangling in the air, and she still is able to hit those incredible notes. And I'm just like, that visually is amazing, and so I'm just like, I don't know, just that powerhouse that, like, is that theatre production, I think is amazing. And I don't think it can be, like, replaced by a movie with the special effects, etc. Like, I think the movie is amazing, but I personally prefer the theatre production.
Sorry, it's just your...
Now, Naomi's wetting herself over there.
Yeah, because she said she's dangling. Dangling.
Are you okay?
No, it's just funny that the visual, just like to see Defying Gravity dangling. I prefer the story being told to me visually through movie form than musical theatre, and I think that's why I prefer the movie, because visually I enjoy being told the story more in that regard. Lauren, what about you?
I think I actually am going with Naomi on this, and I prefer the movie, but there is nothing that beats the feeling of being sat in a theatre watching a show on stage. Like, that is just in its own a phenomenal experience, especially with a show like Wicked. But I think the way they've done the movie just helps, that, as you said about the live vocals, because they filmed the vocals live, them doing it, singing, I think it just elevates the movie so much more. Like, there are clips that you can see Cynthia being flung around everywhere, and she is singing, and she is hitting those notes. Like, it is insanely incredible. You got the visual again.
No, it's just she dangling, being flung.
But yeah, I think it's because they've done the vocals that way. It just elevated it all, and they built the sets. They've used as little CGI as possible, and it just feels real, like it does. And I think that's where, like, other musical movies have fallen down. Like Les Mis, the movie was okay. We'll talk about that more when we do Les Mis. But obviously they pre-recorded all the vocals, and I just think that's where Wicked has done so much better than other musical movies, and I really hope that it is a precedent that they're going to keep doing moving forward with others.
For me as well, actually, I think other than Jersey Boys, the musical, the movie, I usually don't like musicals being made into movies if they haven't been prior. Like, for me, it's very hard to get into liking that, so I'm surprised I like Wicked so much. Next question.
Okay, so our next section is talking about the trailer for part 2.
Oh, we're talking about that already.
Ooh.
Do you know what?
Yeah.
We've been in like 35 minutes, gang. So for me, I saw the trailer today. It wasn't the first time. I've seen other clips of the trailer, and I've not really... I don't know why. I don't know why. There was something about it at first initially that I was like, I don't know why, but I'm not taken to the trailer. I can't really grasp my head around why. I rewatched it again today. I do like the trailer. I liked the bit where Glinda in the trailer went, "Oh my Oz," and I was like, that's clever. Well done. Points for you. But I don't know. I don't know why, but there is something still that I've been thinking about it, girls, and there's still something I'm a bit like, I'm gonna watch it, but I don't know if it's because I'm so, like, I love the first bit so much, and that how much I loved it is like beyond me, because I don't really like movies all the time. And I think there's something about the second bit. I feel like I'm hyping myself up to maybe not like it as much, because I don't know that I will like it as much.
I think you have to think about the fact that part 2, like, the tone changes a lot.
Yeah, and you can tell that from the trailer.
Yeah, but I love the trailer. I cried when I first saw it, because we know I'm a crier. And I'm just super excited for it. I'm so excited. And, like, for part 2, I think we'll talk about what we're most excited for anyway, but it's changed the things that I'm excited for, like hearing Cynthia singing No Good Deed in it, and it's just so ominous, and I'm like, oh my god, like, I love the song, but it wasn't the one I was looking forward to most, and now I'm like, I need to see this so bad. And obviously you've got the humour, you've got everything going on. Like, I love that we have Glinda with the, oh my god, I'm obsessulated about the bubble and just so excited over it.
That was
And
so
it's
good.
just made me so much more excited for the film. As said, I'm constantly checking every day to see if the tickets are on sale yet. As I've told you two, if you want to come with me, we're taking the day off work. We are going. So,
What, are you going to give me a day of annual leave, mate?
yeah, sure. You said you need to use it anyway.
I did. Alicia?
Well, yeah, I mean, obviously, like, that's, I mean, I already kind of said it already, but, like, there's this song, No Good Deed. I've always loved that song, and then the way that, like, it just was in the background of that trailer was just like, you know, and I don't know, I really enjoyed it so much, and I'm really excited to see, obviously, how they work with because obviously in the stage show, spoilers if people haven't seen it. Wait, can we do spoilers? Close your ears. but like obviously in the stage show, obviously they have an actor who can walk, you know, and like so then they will have her start walking, and obviously the actress who is in the movie, I'm sorry, I forget her name. Obviously playing Nessa. Yeah, no.
Just saying.
No, Nessa Rose. So obviously she is in a wheelchair, like in her regular day-to-day life. So obviously it's amazing that she is obviously cast in this, and that they're being more inclusive in casting. So I was kind of interested, like, see what they're going to do. I've kind of seen some kind of clips, but I just still want to see how that then relates to the storyline, how that shifts.
It's Marissa,
you know?
isn't it, her name? Marissa Bode? Something like that. I think
know.
in the trailer
remember.
it shows literally that scene as well, doesn't it? And it's her floating, essentially. As if she's, like, flying, which I really like.
I want to... Yeah, and I wonder how that will, like... Because obviously, like, in the stage show, she's kind of like, oh, I want to, like, I need to show that, like, I can do this because I don't want him to leave me, blah, blah, blah. Like, and she becomes very much, like, obsessed with that. So I'm wondering, like, obviously she was so, like, gleeful, like, when she's floating, like, where is it the same kind of storyline? Like, is it a different kind of, like, do you know what I mean? Just how that kind of ties together with that section of the storyline. But yeah, I also did love the bubble, because I'm just like, whenever you see the stage show, obviously you're kind of like, oh, well, then she's not really meant to have magic. But then, like, when she does come in, like, in her bubble, then obviously this is like, oh, it's all a trick, you know? And I loved in the trailer where she said, like, her and she's talking to Fiero, and she's just like, he confronts her and he says, like, oh, I can't remember. This is a trailer. She says like, oh, who wouldn't love this, or something like that.
You can't resist this. Who could? And then he's like, you know who could. Yeah.
Yeah. I loved that bit, and I loved, like, when Elphaba is seeing Glinda, and she says, "Look at me," and she says, "Not with your eyes, with theirs," and, like, just the way that Ariana like shifts her face and just, like, it's like saddened, you know. And just,
I'm really excited for it. Bar the trailer, what were you most looking forward to?
What, the first one?
Yeah, like, if you...
Oh, in the second one?
Yeah.
I'm looking forward, like I said earlier on, and I touched upon it, is how they're going to incorporate the Wizard of Oz story, that little journey path that's going on in the background while all this is taking place, how they're going to incorporate and mix that.
I'm looking forward to seeing who they cast as Dorothy.
They still haven't given that out, have they?
Yeah.
You never know, it might actually be Dove Cameron.
Interesting, because obviously, like... I heard rumours, but I don't know. But, like, the thing is, obviously, like, because, you know, when we see on the stage show, we never really see them, you know, like, they're always just kind of like, they, like, shout off stage, or you see, like, a tail or something. You don't really see those Wizard of Oz characters, and, like, you never really see Dorothy. Whereas, like, obviously we've already seen the backs of them in the first one, so it is like, well, how much of a role will they have? Like, will they be...
Yeah, I think they will have it more in.
Which is cool.
I'm really looking forward to As Long As You're Mine, because I love that song so much. Anyway, and then just thinking about Cynthia and Jonathan Bailey singing it, I'm gonna have chills. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
I have chills just thinking about it.
Are they multiplying?
Wrong show.
When it comes out, I think Lauren's just going to be in the cinema like for the whole week, like every night.
Lauren's going to be in there with a tent.
You know I won't be on the day after it's released because we're busy doing other things.
Yes.
Are we?
But...
Yeah. The musical party.
Oh, yes, that thing. Yes, I remember.
Nothing to say, I won't head over afterwards. No, I'm joking, I won't.
So Elphaba is often shown she's in full power mode. Do you believe that her villain label is justified at this point?
I think she's just playing to the crowd. You call me a monster, so I'll act like one. I don't think she is.
Is this is in the first part we're talking now?
Trailer still.
Trailer. Oh, do we think it's justified? Because she's very aware about what's happened, because obviously this has all happened because Elphaba didn't want to go against the animals, and the sad thing is that her moral compass is being judged when she's actually doing the good thing, and now she's being perceived as wicked. Glinda does know that. Sorry, I'm just processing what you're saying. Glinda knows this. Is it justified? I don't know. It's one of them things, isn't it? It's like she's not doing the right thing, but I don't think it is justified. Thanks, Alicia. No, I don't think it is. Feel free to talk and let me change my mind in a minute. But at the moment, that's where I'm at with it. Keep going, Lauren. Change my mind.
Well, no, because I've already said that I don't think it is. I think.
Oh, you don't think it is either?
I think she is playing to what she's being told she is. I mean, it's a whole thing in psychology anyway. Like, if you're told you are something, you're going to act like it. And how many times is she going to be told, you're wicked, you're wicked, you're wicked? So she's going to be like, you know what? I want to save the animals. I'm going to do it my way. They're calling me wicked. I may as well do it in the way that is going to reach this goal that I want.
Yeah, which is pretty smart, actually, as well, if you think about it.
It's almost like I have a psychology degree.
Yeah, yeah, I don't know. I feel like it's almost like she doesn't really have any option anyway, because we know how she's got there. We've seen how they've tainted her and they've spoken badly about her. Like, she could spend a lot of time and effort like going around to everyone and showing people that like, I'm really good, blah blah, like I'm not a bad person, but like how much time and effort would that take? And people still probably wouldn't believe her because they're so much believing in what the Wizard of Oz says, you know. And so if he says she's bad, like that's what they're going to believe that she is. And so it's almost like, oh well, then she'll just embrace it and just, you know,
and you have to think as
carry on trying to.
Oh, sorry. I was just going to say you have to.
No, just like she's just.
There we go.
I know, I was just saying, the Wizard of Oz obviously has so much power, and the Ozians are going to believe everything he says anyway. He's the leader. You've got Madame Morrible. She wants to go up the hierarchy. She's going to do whatever she can to get there. That's not going to help other powerful leader. And also, he's already trying to hush people like the animals, and that's why they're losing the voice of the people that would listen to. Well, no, because that's part of the reason anyway. So, yeah, because of his power, like people are going to believe what they're told if it's by their leader, aren't they? It's not like the same in our civilian shit, because like we don't always believe leaders. There's always a debate about stuff, right? But in Ozian land, it's obviously like over the heads. That's the way, and that's what they believe.
I think it can help you see how historic events may have come to be.
Yeah.
And why certain people are so followed and beloved, even though to other people you can see that they're doing horrible things, they're saying horrible things, they should not be in power, but they have so many followers who are like, oh my god, they're amazing, trying to not mention any particular political figures currently, but it can help you understand how these things come to be.
And it's weird as well because obviously this, I'm going to say a stupid thing, but when don't I? We don't obviously have a main character really that is an Aussian in general to know if there's deeper things that they do think behind the scenes in their house, like what they actually think. All we know is that they all seem to herd mentality, just believe it. We don't know much more about the Aussians to know the dynamics too much.
Yeah.
You know?
We've spoken about Elphaba. Now, what about Glinda? We know that she seems very glam. She's very polished. Do you think she's becoming too much like the I'm the good witch, and that, like, you know, too much like into her PR and like her how she's perceived?
I think hasn't Elphaba's kind of given her, like, she's obviously said come with me initially and Galinda said no. I kind of feel like they're at a point where Elphaba's given her grace to kind of just be like that in general.
Well, it's because she knows what she needs to do. That's literally what they say in Defying Gravity is, I hope you're happy now that you're choosing this. And they both know that what they're choosing isn't the same and it's going to lead them in different paths. But obviously in the stage show we see it, and thank goodness, Glinda, as you say, the good witch PR, like, she is so about putting on a face and being like, this is what's happening, this is what's going on, it's all bright and dandy, look how wonderful I am, how wonderful the wizard is, how wonderful Oz is. I think Ariana's going to do really well at playing that dual, all that conflicting emotions that she's going to have, and I think she really will show that she doesn't necessarily believe in it.
I was just going to say as well, it kind of works in Elphaba's favour that this is the case, because you can obviously see in the trailer they do still communicate with each other. I don't know in what kind of manner it's going to be. I have seen the musical in theatre, but like, it's kind of like if there is still that friendship kind of there, the connection, it kind of goes in Elphaba's favour in a little way, that she's kind of got eyes behind the scene of like what's going on. So it's like, although if Glinda had gone with her, like, that could have gone one way, but this still dynamic kind of works in Elphaba's favour to a degree.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we know that later on they're going to reconnect anyway with For Good. She's obviously not in on the fact that Elphaba, or the Elphaba dying bit, like that whole situation. I'm not going to say anything there, because obviously we know from Wizard of Oz that the Wicked Witch of the West dies, but we know that it's a lot more to it than that in the stage show. So I wasn't actually giving a spoiler then. Everybody knows. And obviously, yeah, she's not part of that. And again, it will show you the conflicting emotions that then go back to the beginning of the film in No One Warns the Wicked, because you see her devastation that her friend is dead, but she's like, but she did these bad things, but she wasn't bad. And I think that what happens in part 2 is really going to just make that first scene so much better.
We also got to remember that the bad things that she supposedly have done,
she
didn't necessarily mean to do them.
No.
Like, and also, so going back to the question, like, I just think, like, in my personal opinion, like, there isn't much that Glinda can do, because it's like either she becomes ostracized along with Elphaba,
yeah,
or she takes on this role. And let's be honest, like, Glinda, that's always been what she wants. She always wants to be beloved.
Yeah,
she's always wanted to have like magic and practice magic and stuff.
I think she
wants everyone to love her.
I think she's gonna feel like she's helping Oz overall as well. Like, she'll be justified in her feeling that she is doing good, even if she is conflicted about how she feels about Elphaba, and knowing that, like, Elphaba didn't cause the flying monkeys as such, and she was more forced into doing that.
Yeah. So I think it's just like, it's obviously like she is doing like whole kind of PR, like, you know, like everything's fine and dandy, but like she doesn't. It's just like Elphaba is cornered into, like, you know, running off, like, and becoming the Wicked Witch. like it's almost like, you know, Glinda doesn't really have much choice either, because to go and to she's not like as brave in terms of Elphaba. She doesn't have that kind of like, I must do this,
Yeah.
like I must passionate about the animals kind of thing. She never had that. So it's like, you know, this is what she's always wanted.
I think it goes
So-
back to what we said about in the last pod with Mean Girls, that it's not black and white. No one is completely good and no one is completely bad. It's down to circumstance and how it's seen. And I think that is the case for both Elphaba and Glinda.
If you were going to make any movie edits to the trailer, what would you have cut or added or etc., or would you have rather shown in the trailer?
I don't think I could say, because like even watching the trailer, I'm panicking that they're giving us too much, and I'm like, they're not. It's going to be a
Yes.
few hours, and this is 3 minutes.
Yeah.
But I'm like, please don't be giving us too much. But at the same time, I'm like,
Yeah.
give me more. Like, show me all of it right now. So I think it's fine what they've done.
I am with you on that one, because a lot of the time as well, even with other movies in general, I will sometimes look at the trailer and be like, well, I don't need to watch it now.
Yeah.
So I get what you're saying with that.
That is some of those. But the thing is, like, yeah, but we already know what's going to happen anyway.
Yeah, I know, but that's not the
But, like,
point.
in terms-
We don't know how they're going to do
but,
it.
like,
That's
But,
why
yeah.
Lauren's like, you're giving too much away, because I've seen this. I know the story.
I've actually just watched it all in my head
Yeah.
already. I've made it up. Yeah, no. I
Yeah.
think the trailer's great. I think it gives like such great snippets of so many moments. Like it's not giving too much, and you just have to remember that the movie is going to be quite long, and it probably is still giving you nothing in those 3 minutes, just based on the first one.
yeah. So how excited on a scale of 1 to 10 are you about the second part?
Infinity.
I'm excited to see it, but I just think I love part one so much. I don't feel like I'm going to get the same feeling I did as watching part one. I think it was the excitement before part one and then seeing how they were going to do it for me that was the most exciting. So although I'm excited, I don't think it's going to be the same as part one for me personally. So I'll give it a 7. Alicia?
Oh, give it a 9.
A 9? Pretty fine. Number 9.
That's all right. I'm excited enough for all of us, so
There we
I'm
go.
fully hoping that they do a double feature local to us, because I will be going to that. And that's even me
Oh.
with my bad back.
Yeah, no, I would not be joining you to watch a double feature. I don't think I could sit still for that long. What's the next question? Rock and roll. Would you rather?
All right.
Would
Okay.
you rather?
So, would you rather have to sing Popular every time you enter a room, or Defying Gravity every time you leave one?
Do you know what, right? I was just thought in my head just then, right? If you sing Popular every time you go in the room, you've then got to be in that room after you've just done that. Whereas Defying Gravity, you're leaving after. So it's like, done. Job done.
Can you swap
So-
it around so that when you walk in, you're like, it's me?
Good news.
I don't know. I feel like Popular when I enter, just because whilst it is in itself a taxing song, it's not quite as taxing as doing Defying Gravity every time you leave the room. Like, imagine if you walk out, you realise, oh, I've forgotten my keys, so you got to go back in, and then you walk out, you got to sing again, you're like, oh no, I forgot my phone, you got to go back in and come out again. I'd rather sing Popular 3 times than Defying Gravity.
I think logically I'm going to go with when I leave the room sing Defying Gravity, only because I couldn't deal with the fact that I had to sit with these people for the rest of the day after I've just done that and made a spectacle of myself.
Yeah, I mean, like, it also depends, like, if they know that you have to choose. Because if it's just people, like, because then they'd be like, oh, whatever. But, like, if it's just people who are also, like, I might sing them again. You know, like, because then the next time I see them, Like, if they just get used to me belting out Defying Gravity whenever I leave, they'll just be like, oh, this is a bit of a weirdo, but okay. But then, like, maybe they'll just think, she's a theatre kid, you know?
I think that is the other thing. Like, if we did that in front of, like, our little friendship group we'd be going out with, they'd just be like, you go on, you go ahead, girl.
Defying Gravity.
Other friends would be like, I'm never inviting her again.
No, they'd join in too, and everyone would be like, oh, flash mob.
Exactly, yeah.
Would you rather have a flying monkey or a talking goat as your bestie?
I love goats, but I also love monkeys.
But this is a flying monkey, Lauren. It's no ordinary monkey. It's a flying monkey.
I think I'd have a flying monkey.
I think there's something about wings that freak me out a bit, though, and I think it would freak... The monkey itself would freak me out kind of too, just as a best mate. But I've got you two. No, I'm joking.
We're the talking goats.
No, I think I'll go with goats too, because goats are pretty cute.
So, like, for me, I don't know, like, if it's the flying monkeys from the Wicked movie, those are terrifying. Like, I don't want to have one of those. Like, they would absolutely freak me out. Like, but the talking goat, I can deal with that, you know? Yeah, talking goat. There we go.
Yeah, we're all going with a goat. God, it's the first time we've agreed with something together collectively in ages.
I said flying monkey.
Oh.
But actually, I didn't think about the fact that the monkey can't speak, so I think I probably would actually prefer a talking goat, because I hate talking to myself all the time.
Would you rather know the truth about everything, even if it hurts, or live in blissful illusion like most of us?
I hate this question so much, because it's so difficult, because I don't want to know everyone's thoughts and feelings about me. I really don't. I'm one of them people, like, you know, when someone says to you that, oh, I've got something to tell you and it's not good, I'm like, can you just not then? Like, if I don't know, it doesn't hurt me. So, but I don't want to live in blissful ignorance.
I would prefer blissful illusion. Genuinely, like, especially the way, like, I know it probably might sound a bit bad, and like, people, like, there's so much stuff, even if you look at our own world, there's so much stuff going on at the moment. And all that stuff, when people start talking about, oh, this is happening here and this is happening there and that's going on there, just makes me feel sad. Like, I don't think we're designed to have all of this influx of information, you know? I just feel like, yeah, whenever I hear so much, like, when you have so much bad stuff constantly happening on the news, it makes me super sad. And I'm just like, I prefer to not listen to it just for my own mental health. And for some people, like, that's unconscionable. Some people say, like, you have to know everything that's going on. But, like, for my own happiness, like, no. You know? So I would love blissful
That's
illusion.
what I think. I feel like morally, we should know what's happening, just, like, morally, for a chance. But I agree, I would prefer to live in ignorance. Like, as you say, there's so much horrible stuff in the world. It would just be nice to, like, even just for a day, not know anything that happens.
I'm going to go on the other side of that, and I'm going to say I'd rather know everything. I feel like, but I'm only saying that because for me, I'd love to broaden my knowledge in knowing stuff that is going on in the world, and I can be quite naive to knowing what's happening and not know enough about it, and I would like to know more. I wouldn't want to go the ignorance is bliss side, because I know they're very, like, wide variety. The question itself is literally, like, it's hypothetical, obviously, but it's a difficult question to answer because of the moral high ground. But it's like, I wouldn't want to be completely ignorant to it then, because I feel like me as a character then, it's just like cuckoo land. It's like you know nothing then.
But then, like, what if...
And I feel like...
Sorry, what if you know that you know everything and you know all these things that are going on, but you are powerless to change it? Like, you can't change it.
I know, but I'd still rather know it than not know it. I would rather know it than not, in my opinion, for me. Because if you don't know anything, then you don't know about things that are happening. I don't know. It's a tricky question anyway.
I don't know.
I
don't think anyone's truly powerless about anything. There's the whole butterfly effect. Like, even something that may seem insignificant to you to making change might actually set off a chain of events that does cause change for good.
Nice.
Yes. Well, that question killed the mood a bit, didn't it, Garen?
All right.
What's the final one?
Would you rather...
It better be happy.
Would you rather lose your magic or lose the one person who believes in you?
I'm not magic, for starters. So I'm not losing.
You have
that
a
one
special
person that
magic
believes
already.
in- Do I? I don't want to lose that. I'd rather lose my magic. If you've got one person who believes and you can validate you and make you believe like in yourself, then I think that's worth a lot more than having a magic power. So that's what I would personally like.
Yeah.
Because that's all you need sometimes. It's just that one person. So I'm not getting rid of that one person.
I think I agree, to be honest. I think just one person having the belief in you can change so much in your life, full
definitely.
stop. But at the same time, as Naomi said, we don't have magic, so we don't know what that feels like. I'd love to have magic.
It would be. I would love to be able to teleport. That, like, if you could just teleport places, like I used to say, like.
Then forget self-belief.
Do you know what I mean? Like, when it was so hard. Obviously, like when I was living in China. This is kind of tangent, but like, always would say, like, I wish I could have my job, but have it in England, you know, or I wish I could have like my teleportation device where it's like every evening I could come home, or every weekend I could come home, you know, and but like obviously China is so far away, and it's like, you know, only able to come home like once or twice a year. It makes it very challenging when you do live abroad. So it's just like, so for me, if I had teleportation, I'd love that. In reference to this question, obviously, friendship.
What's next?
So we have some questions from our listeners.
Oh, exciting.
They have given us some questions that they'd like to hear our answers on. So the first one is, if you could gender bend any character in a musical, who would you be?
I would love to be the Phantom in the Phantom of the Opera. I think just because I don't know, I've always loved that musical. I love the songs from it, and I love just the songs that he sings. I love, you know, Angel of Music. Wait, no, he's sing that. Cut that. No, when he sings the music of the night. Sorry, he sings the music of the night. I love that song. And I also love when he sings the All I Ask of You reprise. Have you ever seen the movie musical? And like he's been watching Christine and Raoul, and they're singing all together. And then like he jumps on top of this like gargoyle or something, and he sings like the reprise of All I Ask for You, and the way that I just love that song in general, just the way that the theme then kicks in as he's like doing that massive note. I'm just like, that's amazing. It just gives me chills every time. So I would go Phantom.
I personally, whenever we did our shows in the theatre group we used to go to, I always used to get comedic roles usually, would you believe it? And I thought about this and I was like, I don't really know, but then I got it and I was like, do you know what, found him. I would do Olaf from Frozen, because I would just love to do that character. He's funny, he's he's not all there really, is he? He's a bit naive, and I just would love to play that character. I think it'd be so much fun. Yeah, so I'd choose Olaf.
Mine would be Emmett in Legally Blonde.
Can I just say, Lauren, I would like to know, right, because there's so many male characters. Emmett, I don't think there's much about his.
Emmett.
I just don't think there's much about his character. Like, there's a lot of, like, he's a good character, but I'm like, why Emmett? Of all the men.
I'd get to sing Chip on the Shoulder and help Elle find her self-belief.
Cute. Oh, I see the route you've taken. Okay, yes.
Also, I love the mole scene. Like,
The
it's
mole
just his
scene?
the mole scene when they're in the mall.
Oh, the mole. I thought you said the mole. I was like, the mole?
No.
The mole?
And I just love his like naivety to when they're like, oh yes, it's love, and he's like, what's this? What's this feeling? And it's him finding his own self-belief in himself as well. I just think they build that for each other, and I just really like Emmett. and I fully believe that Elwood should have a gay awakening. So yeah.
Oh, no, that's a
And
fact. I can see the route and why you've done that. You've gone more based on their personality rather than the actual character yourself. Okay, I'll allow it. You can have that. You don't have to change
thank
it.
you so much for the permission. I'm so glad.
No, I was just curious because there's so many. That wouldn't have been one I would have thought anyone would ever come up with as a choice of changing. Like if you had to do a different gender, I just wouldn't have. That wouldn't have been the one that would have sprung to mind.
There's obviously so many that I would do. Like I would love to do Hamilton, but I feel like that would be an obvious answer.
Right. Okay.
So
yeah.
Question 2. If you could choose one musical to be in, which one would it be?
I'd like to be in Hadestown because it is just so fun. I specifically want to play Eurydice. However, now that the Hercules soundtrack is released, really, 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 like, Hercules is favourite Disney anyway, and I really like Megara anyway, but her character is so much bigger in the show, and now I'm also like, oh, would I maybe choose her in Hercules instead? So, those are my answers. Eurydice or Megara.
I don't know if mine's necessarily one I would like to be in. I've not really thought about that question, honestly. But I actually would like, if we're talking about a character we'd like to play in a musical, what one we'd like to do. I wouldn't mind, and I wish and I hope they will never do this, but I like Dogfight so much. I just love that story, and I think it's great. It's got great music in it, and I would love to play Rose. I'm probably too old to play Rose, honestly, but if I could be in any musical, I would choose Dogfight for sure.
Well, for me, I think, I don't know, it's kind of more a character that when I was younger, I was in Oklahoma and I played Laurie. But if I was to redo Oklahoma, I would prefer to be Annie. Like, so just looking back, I think, like, when I did my my degree, I did a music degree, and for my final performance, I did one of the songs that Annie did, and it was just so much fun. Like, she's just such a fun character, like Ado Annie. So I think, like, if I was to redo Oklahoma, I'd prefer to be Ado Annie rather than Laurie, because it's just more fun.
Yeah.
How have you guys been? Anything exciting going on?
This week I went on a family holiday. We went to Paynton, and I got forced, against my will, to go up and do karaoke because it's for grandma. So there you go. That's what I've done this week.
And you did a wonderful job.
Well, I'm still, in my job, and I'm loving it. And yeah, I don't know. I feel like there's not much more to say, but yeah, I'm just enjoying learning more about my job. So, woohoo!
Well, that's good to hear. I am so busy this month. Obviously, I'm still working, doing my masters. Went to see Six this week. That was phenomenal. Super excited because next week I'm going to see Hadestown, Hercules, and go to MusicalCon, which obviously all that will have already been by the time this episode goes live. So I'm sure you'll have all seen the little montages online after that.
Thank you for joining us today. We hope you've enjoyed the podcast. Please join us next month where we are going to be talking about Wicked Part 2. And we're very excited to be watching the film when it comes out next month. Please keep an eye on our socials. We've got new challenges that are going to be posted on our TikTok. Keep an eye on our Instagram. And join us next month where we will be discussing all things magical and wicked. I've been Naomi.
I've been Lauren.
I've been Alicia.
Bye.
Bye.